Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way, if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.
Yo, what's good, y'all? What's the word? What's going on? How everybody doing out there? Y'all already know what it is, man. We are back again, and it's time for the weekend banger. It's a lot, y'all. It's time for the weekend banger. It's time for the weekend banger, and I got one. I keep a banger at all times. But like I always say before I start these videos off, I have no problem delivering this content to everybody that's out there working hard, working a 9 to 5. Everybody that's out there with their own business, getting to that bag the legit way. I make sure y'all got something to watch in the mornings, man. I promise y'all, it's no problem on my end. I also have no problem making sure I'm warning y'all and telling y'all about how dangerous prison is. I only ask for one thing in the process, and that's for y'all to just stay out the way, man. That's it, man. I'm not asking for a lot, man. It's just a little hot this summer, man. You don't want to be in a jail, being all hot and muggy and being there with dudes whose feet stink, man. You got to ask for necks on the phone. You got to eat swoles again. You back to eating oodles and noodles. I ain't even mad at y'all, man, because a lot of y'all still eat oodles and noodles, man. Me, I'm done with oodles and noodles, man. I ate oodles and noodles for 16 years. I'm done with that, man. I don't want to go back to those conditions, man, for nothing. That's basically what I'm trying to tell y'all, man. So change your life around right now, for you don't have to live like that, man. You don't have to go through what I've been through, man. If you out here wilding, you can stop what you're doing right now if you really want to. If you care about the people that you're going to leave behind, you can stop what you're doing, man. Just think about them, because those going to be the ones that's going to have to hold you down, man. Trust me on that one. Period. But y'all already know what it is, man. This is the weekend banger. So what I need y'all to do with this one? Like, shit, swear, let's get it. Let's get it. Let's go. What? It's time for business. It's time for business, y'all. And the story I got for y'all today is called He Wanted to Be Dolo. Part 1. Crazy story, crazy situation, but we are aware, people. We are in penitentiary, man. Crazy things happen all the time. I'm telling y'all, man, like, you have some dudes in there that, you know, I'm not telling nobody how to move, man, but you got dudes in there that think that they can just somehow do what they really want to do. And a lot of times you can do what you want to do, man, but prison is so political. It's like, I'm not saying can't not one man survive being on his own, because you definitely can, but like, it takes a lot, man. It takes a guy that's really like super duper trained to go. Either gonna stay out the way or he's super duper trained to go. Like, so it is people like that out there, but it's not a lot of them in penitentiary, man. So like when dudes be like, they rather be on their own, or it's like, hey, I don't care about this and care about that. I don't care about my talent like that. You can be on that type of time, man, but like it usually doesn't work out good for you, y'all. So with that being said, though, we on Sussex 2 for this, y'all. We on Sussex 2. And I can remember being in 4B for this one, man. This is around the time I'm in 4B, man. 4B was one of those different type of pods. I done been everywhere in 4 building except for 4B and 4A. Now, 4A was the non-tobacco pod, so I never was going to be in there. But 4B was like, you know, I never been downstairs to that pod, man. So this was my first time going in 4B, man, when I got out the hole. And it was like, it wasn't like a new thing. It wasn't something that was like something new or shocking there. You know, I was going in 4B. It was just, I never been in this block. Now, I knew people that was in the block. When I came over in the block, man, my homeboy was in there, man. You know what I mean? We're going to call my homeboy Reese, man, now. My homeboy Reese, he from the town, man. Me and him was cool. Like, we job was on the same type of time. Like, he already knew when I was upstairs, I used to try to get to that bag. He already know I'm trying to make something happen, man. Like, we ain't going to do a whole lot of spending our money on this lala. So he already knew what type of time I was on, man. He definitely was on that type of time. He wanted to get money. He wanted to do this. He wanted to do that. So, like, you know, when I had moved down there, it felt like it was all right, you know, like me and him was kind of like cool like that for us to be able to get together and see if we can put our heads together, pause, and see if we can make something happen. You know what I mean? Trying to get us to play. So like when I got in the block, I kind of was just trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? For like the first couple of weeks, you know, like I'm being a new guy, I'm quiet, I'm kicking it with my dudes from Norfolk. And it wasn't a lot of dudes in there from Norfolk. You know what I mean? It was only like 4 of us. And one of them was an old head, and one of them was an old head. One used to work in the kitchen, so he was always gone. You know what I mean? The other one was my homeboy Reese, who I used to kick it with. Now, there was a couple of other ones in there. We didn't hang like that, but they were from the town as well. But in that block, it was a lot of Richmond dudes. You know what I mean? It was populated with a lot of Richmond. and a lot of red team. Like that's what was in 4B. Now upstairs, it was enough of us not to even worry about like if it was a lot of red team or Richmond, like, you know what I mean? But I looked at it like I get along with everybody. So I didn't have a problem with being around these type of people like that was that deep. So I'm doing me in there. Y'all already know the count, man. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to get some money. So I used to go upstairs, 229, holler at my homeboy, try to get a play with him. But he already told me he had a lot going on with a whole lot of other people that was in his car. He was like, he'll just let me scope. He'll play fair with me. So like that was a good deal. But I needed my own. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all, I needed my own, man. So like I kind of just fell back. When he ended up getting his pack upstairs, I ended up spending a couple dollars with him. And he did look out. But I didn't want to do it. It was just like I needed something at the time just to get some motion going on. I didn't want dudes downstairs where I was at 4B to feel like I was in the way or the Norfolk dudes was in the way. Like, nah, like I'm about motion, man. I'm trying to get some money at all times. So like when I ended up making that play, I came downstairs and did my thing. You know what I mean? I made sure I looked out for my homeboy. I let him sell the feezies. I was pumping the spoons and we was good in there, man. You know what I mean? It looked like we had something going on. So once that had ran out, man, it was like it was nothing else. My man upstairs, I ended up getting knocked off, and it was like that play was gone. So it was like I didn't even have that play no more. I kind of was like, man, you know what? I'm just gonna chill, man. Like, you know, I ain't gonna keep spending money. Like, it won't nothing going on. Like my homeboys, I was upstairs, won't making no noise. The dude I knew that was down on the other building, 2 building, and 1 building, like they won't making no noise, man. So it'd be like that in penitentiary, like where you have to kind of take your own type of drought. You know what I mean? Like when I say that, like you just ain't making no noise when they come to getting that money. So I did it what the normal inmate would do, man. I became a regular inmate in there, man. I just did inmate type of things, man. And I just chilled, man. I stayed out of the way and I just was waiting for my turn. Now 4B was one of those pods, even though it was populated with the Richmond and the red team, like it was one of them pods that, you know, you can chill. They ain't doing nothing but gamble. Dudes try to get a little money. I came in there when it was right around the time of Ramadan and all that stuff going on. So it was like everybody in there moving and doing their thing. That's what was going on. But it wasn't no wild pod. Dudes going in there fighting or none of that. But Richmond definitely was a little deep in that joint though. So with that being said though, man, like, you know, like I said, I'm waiting on my turn, I'm chilling. They end up moving a dude that was from Norfolk into our joint from the hole. Now the dude that they moved in our block from Norfolk that was in the hole, man, we're gonna call him Bryce. Now Bryce, I never met him. I never met this guy. But like, y'all gotta understand what penitentiary is. Dudes that's been locked up, they're gonna understand what I'm about to say. But like, I went through some stuff, you know what I mean? You have people that go through stuff, and then you have some people that feel like when they go through stuff with their city, like it's just like, yo, like, you know what? Like I'm done. Like I'm just going, you know what I mean? Like I'm done with my city. And like that's bad to think like that, like I'm done with my city, because you can never be done with your city. You can be done with individuals from your city, because every city has bad individuals. Don't believe that every city that's in penitentiary that's locked up, man, they getting along. No, it's not like that. You have a lot of people that got confrontations and beef from the streets. You got people that never got along from middle school, and now they seeing each other. You got people that freaking hurt they cousins and family members, and now they locked up with them. It be like that, you know what I mean? But for the sake of bidding, some dudes will attack you and some dudes will just get along with the city. Now, if you end up getting burnt by your city, like I say, that goes back to what I was saying. You have some people to be like, yo, I'm done with the city. Now, I didn't know this was going on with the dude Bryce, but when he moved in our block, I knew who he was from just hearing about who he is. And he was a dude that was in one building that ended up booking a CO, and he had a CO down there, but the whole time he was down there with the CO, getting the money, getting the draws, getting everything. It was another dude, they said was an old head from Norfolk, and they used to be with this other young boy from Norfolk that I didn't really deal with like that, because they was in one building. I didn't really get to see them like that. So these two people was hating on the dude Bryce, man. Like that was the word that came back. Everybody from Norfolk was talking about it. Yeah, they know such and such and was hating on bro for Bryce. You know, such and such and was hating on Bryce, and man, in one building, They end up, you know what I mean? He ended up getting tricked up. They lock him up for investigation. So they didn't catch him with nothing. They end up shaking his cell down, ran down on him because they heard he was messing with the lady. So they ended up locking him up for investigation. So he went back there. He was back there for like 3 months. You know what I mean? So when he come out with the Ben Latin beard. You know what I mean? He was one of them kind of like light brown skinned dudes. You know what I mean? He had the deep waves, but his hair was just like, you know, he been back in the hole. He had no haircut. So like, he was like slim. He was kind of like a slim dude. He was a little taller than us. Just like a little taller than me, a little bit. You know what I mean? So like when he moved in the joint, like I guess dude that was his roommate, you know what I mean, told him his roommate was from the county. But I guess his roommate was like, yo, you know, Weezy enough from Norfolk. So he like, oh, all right. So I don't know if he was like, yo, all right, like he gonna come holler at us, or he was just like, all right, like forget them, you know what I mean? But he told him that we was from Norfolk. But when he moved in the block, the man didn't say not one word to us, y'all. So boom, Now me, I'm not tripping on that. I'm not one of them dudes who like, yo, he from Norfolk, he obligated. No. The less the better. That's how I be looking at it. I don't need a lot of friends. I think everybody should think like that, man. You don't need a whole lot of friends, man. Unless you're one of the members of the red or the blue. Like, you don't need a lot of friends. And I looked at it like that. So when bro moved in, yeah, I see that he was on his own page. Usually a dude will find out you from where you're from, and dudes will come introduce themselves if they don't know each other, or dudes will speak. That's just how it go in penitentiary, man. I'm telling you, man. So like, he didn't come do nothing. He didn't come do none of that. So when he didn't do none of that, I ain't tripping on it. I ain't tripping on the jump, man. So I wasn't even worrying about him coming to speak. I felt like that wasn't my problem. You know what I mean? He a grown man. I knew he was in one building. He from the town. It is what it is. So I'll say after he went and got his property the next day, you know what I mean? When he was coming back, it just so happened that me and my man Reese was standing right there. Now, when me and my man Reese was standing there, Reese was actually doing push-ups. Reese used to work out like crazy. Reese was kind of like muscular kind of guy. You know what I mean? Reese had a little size to him. You know what I mean? Reese used to work out a lot. You know what I mean? Me and Reese probably about the same. How he had a low cut, had a little size to him. So when Reese went to do his lap after he did his push-ups, I seen the slider open up and I seen bro coming in with his stuff. So when he come in, he had like 4 or 5 boxes on the cart. So when he come in, he started to grab them jumps and like walk to his cell. He sleep upstairs, you know what I mean? He sleep upstairs like on the right side of the tier. I think he was in cell 27 or something like that. I want to say that's what cell he was in, but he trying to get the boxes off. So I see him, I'm standing right there. I'm like, yo, what's up, bro? You need some help, man? He turned around, he was like, oh, what's up, nephew? What's up? He was like, oh, what's up, few? Yeah. He was like, oh, what's up? Yeah, you can help. I grabbed one of his boxes. I'm like, you from the town, right? He was like, yeah, I'm from no. I said, you was just in one building, right? He was like, yeah. I said, man, what happened down there, man? You know, I used to hear all that stuff that was going on. So we going up the steps. He's like, hold on, I'm gonna tell you. So we get up the steps. You know what I mean? He was like, yeah, man, you know, I was down there, man. He was like, dude was hating on me, man. He was like, yo, then there was a dude from our city. He was like, there was a dude from our town. You know what I mean? He was hating on me, man. Just, you know, went back telling people like he used to like the same lady I had. He was like, I booked the lady. I've been messing with the lady for over a year. He was like, man, the man just straight hated on me, man. Got the police on me, man. Police ran down on me, man. And this is where I'm at now. You know what I mean? So he was like, the lady who I had, like, she done got fired, like, they don't even, you know what I mean? I'm like, what? He got rid of the lady? He was like, yeah. So I'm like, what to do that? He was like, he's still down there. So I'm like, man, that's wild, man. So like, you know, like getting crossed in prison, man, from somebody from your own town, man, it's not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling, man. It actually put a bad taste in your mouth, rather, man. So like, hearing bro say this, man, like, it was crazy, you know what I mean? So like, he broke down everything. We went back downstairs, got his other boxes. We brought those back up and we kicked it a little bit more. So like, that's when he was just like, yeah, so what's going on in this joint? I'm like, man, ain't nothing going on in this joint. I was like, I'm trying to figure it out, bro. Like, I ain't making no noise. I was like, the red team, Richmond, they be winning. I was like, bro, I ain't making no noise, man. He was like, man, for real, man. He was like, yeah, no. I was like, I knew you was from the town. I was like, but you ain't say nothing to nobody, so I didn't know you was. He was like, nah, after going through that, I just ain't pressed to be dealing with nobody like that. I don't care who you is. Like, I ain't pressed to be dealing with nobody like that. So I'm like, yo, that's what's up. You know what I mean? That's what's up. I'm like, yo, by the way, I'm Weezy, man. He's like, okay. He said, yeah, I think you rock with my homeboy from the Wakes. When we start talking about that, I did deal with his homeboy, you know what I mean? So he like, yeah. So we get the small talk. I was like, yo, bro, you know, there's other people in here from the Wake. You know what I mean? I said, I rock with Reese, and I rock with my man over there, you know what I mean? I said, you know, old head, OG, he from the town too. So I'm like, you know, that's what it is. He was like, yeah, there's a lot of red team in here too, man. I was like, yeah. He was like, and a lot of Richmond dudes. I'm like, yeah. He was like, man, y'all crazy. I'm like, yeah, but they, you know, they be in their own world, we be in our own world, bro. They ain't like we running on. They bullying us or nothing. It's just they just deep. He like, man, I ain't tripping on that jump though. He was like, but nah though, man, like for real though, man. Like, I'm glad they moved me down here though. He was like, because it's this joint, you know what I mean, that I've been trying to like rock with and stuff though, man. He was like, that's what I do, man. I get at the women. You know what I mean? He was like, I get at the women. That's what I do, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if I can make it happen like that, I'm gonna make it happen like that, bro. So like, it's this joint that I already been down on, you know what I mean? And now that she see I'm down here, I know she gonna be happy. So he was like, man, look, you know what I mean? Like, we ain't making no noise now, but like, you know what I mean? We gonna plant our flag down here, bro. That's what we gonna do, bro. They gonna know Norfolk was in the building. So I'm like, all right, bro, that's what's up. I dialed him up, and that was that, y'all. So boom, I left out his room feeling a little good. I ain't gonna lie, like, you know, I'm just meeting him, but you know, talk is talk. Like, I want to see action. And I knew, bro, he can make it shake from when he was in one building. He definitely had a lady, you know what I mean? Like, you know, if you one of them dudes that can book one of these people, you know what I mean? Like, you know, more power to you. So, you know, I'm hoping that this is the play. I'm hoping that he's really telling the truth about what he's saying, you know what I mean? So I gave him the benefit of the doubt. So when I end up going back downstairs, Reese had seen me, you know what I mean? So when Reese seen me, he was like, man, what's up with dude talking about? I was like, who you talking to, dude Bryce? He like, yeah. I was like, nah, he cool. I was like, I just help him with his stuff, introduce myself. I was like, bro, I'm about that money, man. You already know I'm trying to get money, man. This is what Reese was like, what are you talking about, though? He still make it happen. I'm like, man, he's saying he got something up his sleeve down here, bro. But if he make it happen, then, you know what I mean? He talking about we gonna let it be, you know what I mean? He gonna make sure Norfolk in the building, like, type, you know what I mean? So I'm getting the benefit of the doubt. He like, all right, that's what's up, man. If you do make it shake, man, let me know what I can do. I can get this, I said, bro, look, I don't know nothing yet. Nothing is in concrete. I said, but just let dude, you know what I mean? Let him get situated, man. You know what I mean? So as the time went on in the block, like, me and bro used to kick it. You know what I mean? Me and bro used to kick it, like, not all day. When we see each other, what's up, bro? You know what I mean? Dap him up, kick it, like, what's going on? A little talk, a little small talk. I didn't want bro to feel like I was sweating him or I needed him like that, because it wasn't that type of party. I could pull my own weight, you know what I mean? But it is a good thing when you got somebody from the town that can get money like this. Like, you can get in the car, it's a good thing. So I was like, I didn't want bro to think I was on it like that. So, bro doing him. So I seen him one day. I seen him talking to the lady in the salad port. Now, the lady he was talking about, this was an older lady. So I didn't know if she was baggable or she was like that or not. Like, I don't put nothing past none of them CEOs that I worked on such too. So bro down on him, you know what I mean? Bro back in regular form now. He got his clothes, he got his shoes, he done got a haircut, he got the Bin Latin beard cut. He back on regular time now. He down on him. You know what I mean? He down on the lady. So the lady giving him feedback and kicking it with the lady, everything going smooth. So I'll say about 2-3 days later, he pull up on me. He was like, hey, look. He was like, yo, look, man. He was like, look, man, I got a proposition for you, man. I was like, what's up? What you talking about? He was like, man, look, I need you to come to the sale. I'm like, what's up? So he was like, man, look, matter of fact, tell your homeboy come up here too. I was like, who you talking about? You talking about Reese? He like, yeah, get him to come up to the sale too. I'm like, what you talking about, man? He's like, let's come up to the sale, bro. I got my door jammed. I'm like, all right. So I go up to his sale, you know what I mean? So when I go to his sale, I look, I seen it was a Richard dude standing right there first. We're gonna call him Top. Now, Top was a dude a little older than us. He was like in his late 30s. He had a mouth full of golds, you know what I mean? He had a mouth full of tops and bottoms. He was one of them Richard dudes, like, had all crowns. His jumps were all crowned out, the bottom and the top. So he had a mouth full of jumps, you know what I mean? So I seen him leaving from the sale. Now, the dude Top, he usually get his hand in D-block and little stuff like that, you know what I mean? Like, but still, though, he like to get money, too, from the op. Me and him had a good rapport as well. So I see him leaving as we was coming. So I told bro, you know what I mean? Bro wanna holler at us, so we went up there to see what was going on. So we getting the sale. He was like, yo, put the cut up. So we put the cut up, you know what I mean? Bro went under his bed and pulled out a zipper lala. So I'm like, zipper lala? He like, yeah. So see the joint? He like, yeah, what's up? We like, what you trying to do? What y'all was talking about? Like, he was like, yeah, though, like, what's up, though? Like, we gonna get money or what? Y'all trying to get some money? So my homeboy Reese was like, yeah, we trying to get some money. What's up? What's good? How much what we gotta spend? What we gotta do? Like, can I get in the car, bro? Because I really don't want to spend no money. This what Reese says. So I'm like, yeah, Reese right. I was like, yeah, he right, bro. I was like, listen, I don't mind nobody giving me nothing, right? I was like, but I don't really like working for people, bro. Like, that's not what I do. I said, I got people on the street that can get the la-la. That's what I can provide. You know what I mean? I said, other than that, like, that's what I can do. He was like, yeah, I'm saying, though, I got this right here right now. You know what I mean? I got this right here right now, though. Like, you know what I mean? I got two of them. I got one of them. I just sold a half a zip to the dude Top. You know what I mean? From the op. So, like, it's going to be la-la in here. But, like, I'm selling weight, though. Like, this is what I'm doing. She going to bring me another 2 zips tomorrow. She got a QP for me. So, I'm like, for real, bro? You got it like that? He like, yeah. So, I'm like, so, you want to give us that zip? What you want for the zip? He was like, man, look, I don't want another $250. That's all I want. Y'all can do whatever y'all want with the rest. He was like, but I got to have my $250, though. I'm like, $250? I look at bro. I'm like, that should be easy. You know what I mean? But like at the same time though, like I just don't like working for people, man. You know what I mean? Like I'll help people, but I don't like working for people, y'all. It's a big difference. So boom. But right now he's coming with a good opportunity. I ain't gonna hold y'all. He coming with a good opportunity, and I don't have nothing going on. Neither does Reese. So we gotta kind of jump on this deal right here. That's what it felt like. And he was from the town, so like it just felt like it was the right thing to do, y'all. It really felt like that, man. It didn't feel like it was the wrong thing to do. So I was just like, all right. I was like, look, we're gonna take care of that, bro. $250. He was like, yeah, you can get the job. Like, all right, bro, bet. Because I really want some la-la. So he was like, I know you want to blow, you know what I mean? Y'all can, just give me $250. I'm like, bet. You know what I mean? Grab a jump. We going down the steps. Reese was like, man, what you think about that, though, man? I was like, I mean, bro, we got a half ounce apiece, bro. You know what I mean? I said, we both got to get on what? I said, we both got to get on 1 1/4. I said, bro, listen, 1 1/4 apiece is not really a lot. I said, it's just, we got to sell some spoons and just get rid of the junk. He was like, yeah, I know. So he was like, man, look, that's what I'm saying, though. We were like, man, but for real though, Weezy, man, like, we ain't really making no money. He said, after we do that, he said, what we gonna make then? He said, we probably gonna make probably what, $300-400? I was like, shh. I mean, it's not a lot of money, bro. I was like, but it beat a blank. I said, and we can put some food in our box. So like, you know, at least we ain't gotta buy nothing, bro. Let's look at this hot side of this stuff, man. It ain't as all bad as you think it is. He was like, man, I know, man, but like, still though, like, man, he need to let us get some work though. Like let us ride one. Let us pay him $250 to let us ride one time. We'll pay the roller. I'm like, shh. I'm hollering about that, bro. I'm hollering about that. But I'm like, look though. I said, man, you know they about to lock down in a second. I said, look, you trying to hold this junk though, bro? I said, because I want to bag up with both of us together. You know what I mean? So I was like, I'm just gonna take out a couple feezies and just let you hold the joint. You can take out a couple feezies, whatever. I said, just hold the joint till we come back out after lockdown. So he was like, I'll hold the joint, man. So I was like, I'm gonna holler at bro, man. I'm gonna holler at bro. So he dipped off. When he dipped with the zip, I went back upstairs to holler at bro. I get back up the steps. I see him about to come out of cell. So let me holler at you right quick, bro. He's like, what's up? So Bryce leaned on the chair. I lean on the jump side. I'm like, hey, look, bro, listen, I appreciate the play. You know what I mean? So don't get me wrong. I appreciate it. I was like, well, look, you don't think next time me and bro can pay for the roller and just get what we get, bro? And, you know, we still look out for you, but we want our own weight, though. You know what I mean? I was like, is that asking for too much? He was like, nah, I ain't asking for too much, but like, I just gave y'all a whole zip. I'm like, yeah, I appreciate that. No question, I appreciate that. I said, but the type of person I am, though, bro, I said, I just be trying to make my own moves, though, bro. I don't really like working for people and owing people and stuff like that. I said, I know you can understand that, right? He was like, yeah, I mean, I understand, but like, still, though, y'all niggas was on E. I just got y'all niggas off E. I'm like, you right. When I heard him getting to a little bit touchy about the situation, I went on and said, you right, bro, you got that, my guy. So, boom. I said, you got that, bro. You got that, bro. You know what I mean? He was like, yeah, I'm saying like this, you know what I mean? Get greater later, like, you know what I mean? Just be patient, I'm like, all right, that's what's up. I dipped back downstairs. You know what I mean? Lady said, lock down. So they locking down. You know what I mean? So we locking down. I go get my cup. I come back downstairs, get some ice. Got my homeboy Reese. Reese sleep in cell 8. You know what I mean? So when I'm getting the ice, I look, he is sitting in his door. He's sitting in his cell in his bed. I'm like, what's up, bro? You good? He was like, yeah, I'm good. He was like, man, that junk smell good too, Weezy, man. I was like, man, no, bro. I was like, I'm about to go roll up a nice jank. You already know they count, boy, when they lock. As soon as they count, I'm going up. He was like, yeah, me too. I was like, yo, be careful, bro. You got that, you know what I mean? Make sure you're on point, you know what I mean? 'Cause this was a weekday. This wasn't the weekend. This was a day that you need to be on point. Anything can happen, you know what I mean? He was like, yeah, everything good. So, locked down, you know what I mean? Count it. So, I saw when they counted. When they counted, I blazed up. Now, it hasn't been no la-la in the part, I'll say within about 4 days, 5 days, maybe a week, but dudes will pop up and have something, but it don't be nothing big. So it's not like a lot that's going on. So I saw when the CO when the COs was counting, I saw the black dude, he an older black dude. I think he was African or something, man. Word, he walking by. He walked by my joint. I haven't blazed up yet, but I saw when he was walking past my cell, I saw him go like this. He was like, and now, with that being said, like police don't give a crap about the smell. You know what I mean? Because you got Black and Milds, smoke in the air. You got freaking Newport roll-ups. You got all of that mixed in with Lala. You know what I mean? So he like this though. He walked by. He got the clipboard. He like, but it ain't nothing coming from my cell. You know what I mean? But the Richmond dude top sleep 4 doors from me. The Richmond dude top sleep 4 doors down from me. He on the same side. So I don't know if he blew. I don't know. You supposed to wait after count. Either way, I seen the dude sniffing. Like he was, what's going on? So he sniffing. He leave after they count. Next thing you know, everybody like, police coming in this joint. Look, I go to the door and look. I see about 4 police coming in the joint. 4 police coming in the joint. This is my word. 2 of them ran upstairs to the other side of the stairs from where I'm at. And then 2 of them ran under me. Under me is my bro cell. Now, I don't know if they going in bro cell or not. But all I know is, man, I looked up and I just seen bro sitting at the table. You know what I mean? Bro was sitting at the table. I'm like, crazy, man. So I'm sitting there like, I'm looking at bro. I'm trying to get like some reaction from him to see like, oh, what's up? What's, you know what I mean? What's going on? I'm like, man, he just sitting there just looking stupid. So they shook their cell down. They shook the dude top cell down. You know what I mean? I'm like, this junk crazy. I know dudes ain't go up before lockdown. You know what I mean? Before they count it. Like, this is crazy. So they shake their cells down. Next thing you know, they putting bro back in his cell, you know what I mean? The dude top, they put him back in his cell, so they didn't catch nobody with nothing. So I'm just sitting there like, man, this is crazy. I don't know what to expect. I don't know what's going on. Across the tier for me is the dude Bryce. from Norfolk, and he's on the door looking. He got a better view at my man's cell who just got ran down on Reese. So he at the door looking. So everybody was just waiting. Nobody knew what was going on. So they waited till it was standby for lunch, and they let us back out. So when we came back out, I go downstairs, you know what I mean? I looked at bro. I'm like, what's up, bro? I seen Reese. I'm like, what's up? Everything good? He came to the door. He was like, nah, everything ain't good, bro. I'm like, what you talking about, man? What you mean everything ain't good? He like, I had to flush that zip, Wheezy.
Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way, if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way, if you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous. Did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments. Get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes.